This is a money manipulative tool that you can use whenever you're trying to answer problems with pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, or even dollar bills. Let's say, for example, that the problem is asking you to use 10 dimes. You can simply drag the dime over and notice how there are 10 squares. This represents a 10 stick or a rod that represents 1/10 of a dollar. You can see that very clearly when you put the dollar side by side with it. The dime takes up 1/10 of the entire hundreds grid. I'm going to delete that dollar bill. Now if the problem asks you to use 15 dimes, you can click it and then click down here to rotate heads or tails. You can duplicate by clicking over and over again. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 dimes now on my screen. I then can piece them together to make a hundreds grid. I'm going to need 10 of them to do this. And there we have a 10 by 10. You need 10 dimes in order to make one whole dollar. But then I also have my 5 dimes left over. Notice how this represents half of my hundreds grid. I can use my pen tool to write some of this information. Go up to the top here, click the pen tool. This shows 10 tenths, and this shows 5 tenths. Each one of these rods or sticks has a value of 1/10. Notice how you need 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in order to make 10 tenths. You need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order to make 5 tenths. Now some other cool features in this that you can do is you can click the hundreds grid, which is representing 100 cents or $1, and exchange that for 10 dimes. So if you go down here to exchange, you say you want everything to be exchanged for dimes. Notice how I just made that $1 bill into 10 dimes. That's the same thing as 10 tenths. And here I have my 5 dimes that are still left over. Now I'm going to get rid of this here by selecting all of those dimes and then clicking the trash can and then saying yes that I want to delete the selected items. Now if the problem was asking you to change this into a fraction, all you'd have to do is add the 10 tenths plus the 5 tenths, which is equal to 15 tenths. Now this is an improper fraction, so another way to think of this is 10 tenths is the same thing as a whole plus 5 tenths, which is the same thing as a half. 15 tenths as a mixed number would be 1.5. Because we know that 1 5/10 is the same thing as 1.5. Now if the question was asking you to write this in decimal form, it's probably not a good idea to change the denominator out of tenths or hundredths, because our place value system is based on the number 10. So instead of thinking of it as 1.5, we can think of it as 1 5/10. This would be written in decimal form as 1 and, that's what you say when you see the decimal point, 5 tenths. Notice how the 5 is in the tenths place and the 1 is in the ones place.